This is Volusia Today, a public information radio program brought to you by the County of Volusia. Here is Community Information Kevin Captain.
Good morning and welcome to Volusia Today. I'm Kevin Captain, the county's Community Information Director. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Volusia Today is made possible by our sponsors, the Daytona Beach International Airport, the Ocean Center, Volusia Recycles, and Votran Public Transportation. This morning I'm joined by co-host Heather Belden. Heather is new with the County of Volusia with the Community Information Division. She's a marketing specialist and public information officer, and I like to say she is crushing it. So good morning, Heather.
Good morning. Thank you, Kevin. I think it's pretty easy to crush it when we have such an awesome team here at the county. While I am new to the county government, I am no stranger to Volusia County. I grew up in DeBary and actually met my husband at Gemini Springs. So
how cool is that?
Yeah.
And you were also you worked for Parks years ago.
Yes, I am a returning employee, they like to tell me, but I really just had a few summers working as a camp counselor for the county summer camp.
How cool is that?
Yep.
Well, today we have Tim Baylie. He's the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Culture. And then we also have another great guest today. We have Lisa Perez from DeBary Hall. So good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Excellent. Thanks for being on the show. So Tim, let's talk a little bit about our parks and trails. Obviously, we're getting into, is it summer solstice? Is the official start of summer? Of course, with Florida, we know we've already been in summer a couple of weeks, but people are outside enjoying the parks and trails. Tell us a little bit about our parks and trail system in Volusia County.
Yep, right. So this is really our peak season. This is where we really are having a lot of people. School, gets out, right? Summer program starts. We just started it this week. We have over 900 kids in our summer program this year.
900?
Right.
Wow.
So, and it's last year and the year before was kind of odd years, right? We had COVID. But this year we're getting closer to back to normal. Typically, we have around 1,200, kids in our summer program. But we're just getting back into the summer program, and we've got, 13 sites countywide. So it's a little chaotic first week out, but kids are loving it. I love it. It's a great time of year for those folks. Now, for other amenities that we have throughout the county, wow. So a great place to start, and looking at all the different recreational activities we have to offer in Volusia County is Sports Volusia. And it's not just what the county manages. It's a great source for everything recreational, not just for county, but city activities, their parks, their recreational activities are also listed on there. There's a calendar there that'll tell you what's going on in the sports world and recreation world, so you can either choose to participate or recreate or choose to be just a spectator. So it's a great site for really getting out and looking at what we have in Volusia County. And it's a wide variety, from fishing to from reef diving to canoe kayaking, equestrian, BMX tracks, hiking trails, walking trails. Really, anything you want to do here in Volusia County
There's
is really
something
right
for
there.
everyone.
Yeah, from river to ocean, all kinds of different amenities in between.
Excellent.
So, you mentioned trails, and that's definitely something that here in Volusia County we hold as unique. And we've been doing a lot of new things with opening trailheads and different trail segments. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Right. So we're proud of the trail system we have here in Volusia County. We've got over 67 miles of trails, of showcase trails, paved 12-foot wide asphalt trails, on our way to over 110 just for the St. John's River to Sea Loop, which is a 260-mile trail that starts in St. Augustine and makes a loop through the counties, Brevard, Volusia, Seminole, all the way up to Putnam, St. John's. And then we have the Coast to Coast Trail, which is on the southwest portion or south portion of Volusia County. When you add all those up, the trails that connect to other trails in Central Florida, you're going to have eventually over 600 miles of connected, paved asphalt trails that you can access right from your back door.
That's incredible. Lisa, you're a big trail girl. What's your favorite Volusia County trail?
Honestly, as much as I love taking off from DeBary Hall and heading down to Lake Monroe, I still also really love the portion of the Spring to Spring Trail up at Beardsford, Lake Beardsford Park. I think that That one is such a hidden gem. It's kind of tucked back a little ways, but there's a great 2-mile loop, and then you can go underneath the train tracks, and you can from there go down to Blue Springs State Park, all the way back down to Lake Monroe to Gemini, and then even head towards the East Coast. And it's just beautiful in there, and it's a real nice place. It's got great bathrooms, water fountains. It's got great amenities.
Now, coming from someone like myself, I do have a difficult time with my left and my right. I do have to do the hand trick. Tim, can you share a little special something that Volusia County has that can help the directionally challenged, like
East,
myself?
west, north, and south. That
Right.
Yeah.
too?
Yep. So, well, there's two great assets we have. So, the Volusia County Parks and Trails app, which is a mobile application you could download from the Google Store and Apple or Google Play and App Store. It's free. You just if you type in Volusia County Parks and Trails, it'll pop up. Download it for free. It'll give you all of our trails countywide. It'll tell you where you are on a trail. If you hit the little button or icon that says near me, it'll give you 25 recreational assets that are near you and guide you right to that location. It'll tell you where parking is, tell you where drinking fountains are. It's a great asset. So the second element that is also helpful is at the DeBary Hall Mansion, inside that visitor center, there's an interactive panel that we worked with GIS groups from around the Central Florida area and pulled their information on their trails, trailhead, water stops, parking areas, lodging, restaurants. That type of information is all at your fingertips, where you can just access those panels, click on a button, it'll give you information, and then off you go on planning your trip.
Wow.
So speaking of parks, Tim, a lot of people, I mean, at least me, when I think of parks and recreation, I think of first thing is pavilions and playgrounds. But our parks are much more beyond those two things. I mean, you've got disc golf, you've got fishing, camping. Give us some examples that make some of our parks in Volusia County unique.
Right. So, one of the things that not a lot of folks know is we have a 10-mile mountain bike trail at Chuck Lennon Park in DeLeon Springs. So when you drive in that park, you really don't even know it's there. You got to search for that trailhead that's on the left-hand side, and then tucked away in there is over 10 miles of mountain bike trails. And then when I say mountain bike trails, it's not just your beginner trails. These are all the way up from beginning, intermediate to black diamond mountain bike trails. It's one of the top 5 in the state. So we're pretty proud about that. And we have other mountain bike trails at Spruce Creek Preserve, another section of trails. And then disc golf is at Spruce Creek Preserve. We have disc golf at Glencoe. So there's a lot of different opportunities to take advantage of a diversification of recreational activities. Equestrians always are on our preserves. We've got 40,000 acres of preserved lands that people can access for equestrian and just getting out in nature.
Speaking of disc golf, are there any of the parks that offer the Frisbees, or do you have to bring those in?
Yep, got to bring them in. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't rent them out. I don't really have a vehicle to do that. So yeah, you have to bring in your own discs.
But that's a fun sport.
Oh, you bet. During the pandemic, during COVID, I would say our activity on our disc golf course has gone up by over 300% in terms of usage. Wow. It's a great activity. It's passive. Everybody can do it. It's not just for people that are athletically inclined. It's for anybody.
How about tennis? You got tennis courts?
Yeah, sure. Tennis courts countywide, like Great Source Sports Volusia, right? Don't just look at what we have,
sure,
because we've got a couple of tennis courts in a variety of parks throughout the county. I don't really have a tennis complex like USTA here in Daytona Beach. Don't have that kind of asset. But in our parks, you'll see 2 tennis courts side by side. Sports Volusia or the county's webpage is also a good site for that, to identify all the different amenities.
Now, did I hear correctly? We have an opportunity in the future here for kayaks. Some of the parks are going to have kayaks.
So I'm excited about that one.
That sounds great.
Yeah, we've had trials with concessionaires with kayaks, right? And we've determined that if you have a self-service canoe kayak launch, it's easier to be profitable, right? So we've entered into an agreement with a company that is going to provide canoe and kayak rentals at Gemini Springs and Lake Monroe Park. We're right in the home stretch of getting that fabricated and put in place. So let's say July timeframe, those will be in place. You'll download an app. You'll be able to pay for your canoe rental right on your app. It'll give you a code to punch into the locker. The locker opens. You pull out your canoe kayak. You have your helmet, your safety gear, your
all
paddles.
the safety gear, everything comes with it.
Everything is in the locker.
Wow.
You pull it out. You hop on the St. John's or Lake Monroe. You tool around. Come back, pop it right in the locker. Off you go. If you're from out of the area, like from say Idaho, Iowa, Chicago, you come down here without any assets. You got a way to do that from your right from the trail. If you're a bicyclist and you brought your bicycle down, you can lock your bike up, rent the canoe kayak, paddle across to Sanford, grab lunch, come back, pop your canoe back in, hop on your bike, off you go back to where you came from.
Wow, I hope there's an easy button in that locker.
Now, many cities and counties, they have Parks and Rec as their division name. Here in Volusia County, we're a little different. We have Parks, Recreation, and Culture.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the culture part of that and what we have here in Volusia County.
Sure. Yep, that's the third element of our division, right? So the cultural side, there's a variety of different things that are under that umbrella. First of all, we have a $611,000 grant year over year that we provide to nonprofits within Volusia County that provide cultural services to the residents. So there's an application process, and it's online, so feel free if anyone's interested, nonprofits are interested, feel free to get online and apply. Those monies are managed by, we put together, staff puts those applications together and then brings them to the Cultural Council, which is appointed by the County Council. The Cultural Council then scores those grants and recommends those that score greater than 80 funding to receive for their operations, and that's brought before County Council for approval. The other element that falls under that umbrella is the Art and Public Places program. So any Volusia County capital project that's over $1 million, there's a policy in place that 0.5% to 1% of the total construction cost goes towards artwork for that particular facility, as long as it's open to the public. It wouldn't be a county staffing building, it would be a public building. And then artwork is purchased, we solicit the advertisements for the artists to bid. That goes before a select panel that selects the artwork, eventually goes to County Council for approval. And then the artist creates that artwork and then it's installed at the new facility.
That's awesome.
Right.
That's excellent stuff. We're talking with Tim Baylie, the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Culture, and Lisa Perez, the Education Coordinator at the DeBary Hall Historic Site. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and continue to talk with Tim and Lisa.
Volusia County is a beautiful place to live, but if
we don't respect it, who will? Litter is a problem, one that we can solve.
But it's going to take all of us working together.
What matters is that we all do our part.
Don't be a litter bug.
And pick up litter whenever you see it.
every litter bit counts.
Keep Volusia beautiful.
Airborne! Okay, why don't we go to the Marine Science Center? Yeah!
Are you looking for a new adventure? Come on down to the Marine Science Center in Ponce Inlet. Watch as our staff cares for sick and injured sea turtles. You can also explore our marine exhibits, touch some stingrays, visit our gift shop, and stroll through the Seabird Sanctuary. Afterward, you can visit the Ponce Inlet Lighthouse. The Marine Science Center is open every day but Monday.
Get ready, it's time for another Volusia County Fire Rescue Fire Safety Tip.
Another good tip for the kitchen is safety for the children. We want to create a 3-foot zone of safety around the stovetop so that children can't access and get burned.
I am Heather Belden. I'm here with Kevin Captain, and you're listening to Volusia Today, a public information program brought to you by the County of Volusia.
Thanks, Heather. So we're with Lisa Perez. She's the Education Coordinator at the DeBary Hall Historic Site. Lisa, I have to admit, I've been in Volusia County 12 years, and my wife and I and our friends, our neighbors, our best friends, we went to the DeBary Hall Historic Site about 6 or 8 months ago, and I got to tell you, I didn't even know it existed. It was the most amazing, half a day little experience that we had. And that building, I think it was the first mansion that I've been in Volusia County that has a basement.
Yes, it does have a basement. And don't feel bad. You're not the first person to say you didn't know it existed. Some of our own neighbors come and they're like, we didn't even know this was here. We're sort of tucked away. We're a hidden gem. So, but I'm glad that you all made it out.
And
good.
the historian that gave us through the entire tour, I mean, it just walk us through that. I mean, it was amazing that from the furniture to the windows that are, the original glass, and just so many ornate, unique things in that mansion.
Yes, it really is beautiful. And before I even get into it, I would like to say that Volusia County and the site director do such an awesome job of maintaining that house and put a lot of love and care into it. I think it shows when you come.
Sure does.
But the house is 8,000 square feet, and it was made of cypress, and it's got that original hand-blown wavy glass. The floors are the original floors, the oak and the heart of pine. There's a lot of original elements to it. It has a basement. It also has an elevator. They didn't use it for people, but it was mostly to lift the ladies' steamer trunks up and down, and they have a call button system. When he built that, he was a little ahead of his time, and he wanted a lot of nice, luxurious things there, all to make, his staff and himself and his guests feel very comfortable. It was all about comfort.
I love the cross-sectional cutout of one of the walls where you can see into the wall, and you can see it's not a nominal 2x4. It is a real 2x4 of cypress. Those things are huge, thick pieces of walls.
Yes, the house has good bones, and it was definitely built with great intention to it. And they were all very resourceful. There's a piece of furniture, I don't know if you remember, that the drawers are actually refurbished wine crates. So they used a lot of what they had also to kind of create more stuff within the home, because there was no Walmart or Amazon at the time. So they had to work with what they had, and they had to make good quality stuff.
Now, it is a very historic place. It has a lot of mystique to it, and people can come and do the tours, but you guys are doing so many other things there all the time. Tell us about the events. What can people do?
Oh my gosh, we are hopping. We try to stay very busy. We love what we do, and we're always looking for different ways to bring people to our site. Even if you're not necessarily interested in the history, you might hear about a lecture on a different topic, and so that gets you there, and then you bring your friends, and then you come back and you take the tour. We're just trying to find different ways to entice people. So we do a lot of different stuff. We do the first and third Saturday of every month, we have lemonade lectures, and those are sponsored by Volusia County, and we serve lemonade and cookies, and we have different presenters. We've had folks talk about 19th century astronomy. We have a former park ranger coming and talking about the history of DeLeon Springs. We have wildlife experts from FWC come and talk about black bears and Florida panthers. We also teach line dancing classes in our stable. We do story time, so we get the kids there and we do it outside, and then they play at the park and on the grounds, and they're creating this great connection to history and a passion for it, which I think is very important. We do guided bike tours. Like Tim said, we are a great trail welcome center for the Volusia County trails. And some people may not feel comfortable getting out there on their own, so we take them out there and we guide them along the trail, and we talk about the history in the area, and it familiarizes them with the trail system and the other parks and the other places that they can stop along the way. In the fall, we really get cooking, and we have our creepy candlelight tours in October, and we also have holiday candlelight tours in December, and that's the 2 times of the year that you can actually tour the house at night, which I think is such a unique and different experience than coming during the day. It looks the same but different. It's a whole different experience.
Well, I haven't been there at night, but I can attest to being there during the day, just because when I was there, again, with my neighbors, we did kind of a dual visit. We did the tour, but then we also were in is it the barn or the stable? You call it the barn?
The barn or the stable,
so we were
yeah.
in the barn, and Howard Jeffries from the Ag Center was giving us a lecture on palms, and I wanted to go, and I sort of had to drag my wife there, but it was so educational. And the other kind of neat thing about it is, now I have Howard Jeffries' email, and whenever there's a diseased leaf on my yard, I send it to him, and he sends back information. And so it's amazing the cooperation between the different county divisions, and it's all sort of the central location when you're able to go there. I mean, there's so many programs, and you also have programs for youths as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We have the story times. We have the whole Echo Ranger program, which I think we'll get into in a little bit. We offer field trips. So if you're a teacher. We encourage you to get in contact with us. We'll do a whole 2-hour field trip for you. So we do a lot of things to get the kids there and families there as well. Absolutely. We're such a great resource for the community, and I've seen people connect with the people that come and give presentations like Howard Jeffries, or connect with other people that are there that have like interests and now they're friends. It's just it's a great place to come and connect.
What are the hours of the tour, and then also can anybody sort of rent or lease the barn for other activities?
Oh, absolutely. So DeBary Hall Historic Site is open for tours Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sundays from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And the tours are on demand, so they're not at a specific time. So anytime you come, a docent will be there with a smiling face ready to greet you and get you started on the tour. And then we do also offer rentals of the pavilion, which is outside, and it has about 8 picnic tables and 2 restrooms, and it's a really great place to have a family gathering. And then we also rent out the stable itself, and we've had folks rent that from everything from a bar mitzvah to a baby shower to a 90th birthday party, and weddings, of course. Lots of folks get married, and they typically get married at the front of the house, and then they have their reception in the barn. And if you have any questions about the rentals, you can contact us at the hall and talk to Tracy Mestry. She's the site director, and she coordinates all of that.
Now, you briefly mentioned this cool little program called the Echo Ranger program. I would love to hear more about it, and I can assure you there are many other moms and dads out there that would love to know more about this unique program.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite things that I get to do with my job is to coordinate with all the different parks and museums and sites throughout Volusia County to create these programs designed specifically for the Echo Rangers. So an Echo Ranger, when you sign your child up for Echo Rangers, it's $20, and it's geared towards kids in grades 1st through 5th grade. They get a special cool t-shirt that says Echo Ranger, they get a lanyard, and they also get a booklet. It's called The Passport to Adventure, and it has programs for them in 4 different categories, which is ecological, cultural, heritage, and outdoors. And most of the programs are about an hour to an hour and a half long, and they're mostly on the weekends, which is really great for families. And a lot of the sites will also, if you have a child that's younger or older but wants to tag along, a lot of the sites will still welcome them to participate as well. And the kids, the program runs August through May, and so they get the booklet, and you can look, it's broken down by dates to see what's going on every weekend, and the goal is to go to 2 activities per category, and at the end of the year, we celebrate, we have a great big picnic. We just finished this year, we had our graduation picnic last Saturday. We had 36 of the Echo Rangers actually show up and have a great picnic. We had food and activities for them, and they got a graduation certificate, and several signed up for another year, so that kind of gives you an idea that it's something that the families keep doing, and I love it because it introduces families to a lot of things that they may not have thought about doing before. There's an eco buggy tour ride at Longleaf Pine that Trey Hanna from Environmental puts on for the kids. They can go to the Reptile Discovery Center, the African American Museum of the Arts in DeLand. They can go and do an activity there. We'll take them on a bike ride to Gemini Springs, and we walk around and talk about the wildlife that they see there and a little bit of the history of the area. So there's so many different things to do with this program, and that $20, like I said, gets you the booklet, the lanyard, the shirt, and entry to all of the sites. So it's a fantastic program.
How many sites do we have nationwide that families can go and visit, that they get a little decal or a stamp that they can stamp in their book, right?
Yes. So in the booklet, each page has a listing for I just opened to the New Smyrna Museum of History in New Smyrna Beach. And so they would go on a specific day, take a tour, do an activity that they get the stamp in the booklet. And there's also some self-guided, like art in public places. We encourage them to go to a couple of different places, and then they can even design their own artwork that they could bring to us at the end of the year. So there's a lot of interactive things that they can do. I would say there's over 30 sites that they go to. And we really appreciate the participation of all of these museums and everything in the county that participate in that and are willing to welcome the Rangers to their site and do an activity specifically for them. I think that's very cool.
Amazing stuff. We're talking with Tim Baylie and Lisa Perez. We'll take our last break and come back and close out Volusia Today. Stay with us.
Volusia County is our home. And if we don't respect it, who will? And litter is a problem, but it's a problem that we can solve. But it's going to take all of us working together. And we're blessed with some of the most beautiful parks in the Southeast. So whether you're out taking a walk, biking, boating, fishing, camping, or just out observing wildlife, Volusia County has it all. But unfortunately, litter enters the environment. And not only does it create an eyesore, but it degrades the environment and also works like a magnet to attract other litter. So the truth is, we need to do more to make our roadways, parks, and community look better. The good news is we can do that. And we can start by picking up. I know here in Enterprise, they take pride in their area and they come out about once a month, have a group that come out and they pick up bag and bag after bag along the scenic highway here that we're next to. And that encourages us all to do our part. And according to the Litter in America study, if everybody would pick up 152 pieces of litter, and that's not over 10 years, that would be in a day, that it would all be gone. Well, the Volusia County staff, they work hard and they do a great job to combat litter. I know I see the trucks up and down the highway picking up stuff and getting out, especially a lot of the bigger stuff and so forth, and they're involved in making that difference. But we all need to do our part. Don't be a litter bug and pick up litter whenever you see it. Every litter bit counts. And let's all work together to keep Volusia County beautiful.
You can access Volusia County government online at volusia.org. Listen to county council meetings, pay for permits or tags, or search the property appraisers' databases. Volusia.org is your Volusia County government information resource.
I'm Heather Belden, and you're listening to Volusia Today. And here's Kevin Captain.
And thanks, Heather. So to wrap things up, Lisa, there are so many things happening at DeBary Hall. Most people don't know all the programs. Really, all the programs. How many of them are there?
Oh my gosh, we must do over 100 programs a year. We're busy.
That's amazing.
And to add to that, and they're so diverse. I mean, if you pay attention to their calendar, you get an idea what interests you, and there's all kinds of different information for all kinds of different folks to go out there and enjoy DeBary Hall.
Yeah, if you can learn from palm trees to line dancing.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
very
Cover it all.
So as we close out, Tim, recently there was a ribbon cutting in Osteen for a new boat ramp, and that's also on the trails, right?
That's right. Yeah, not too far. Right. It's off of the Coast to Coast Trail and the St. Johns River to Sea Loop. It's right off of Lemon Bluff Road. It's in Osteen. We got there real quick. We had a smaller boat ramp there, became overpopulated with boat users to get them access to that portion of the river. So we acquired county acquired a piece of property. Now you have a boat ramp that'll accommodate 2 boats at one time, and there's about 30 plus parking spaces across the road for folks to access that very important part of the St. Johns River.
And it's a floating dock,
That's right.
too.
It's a floating dock, canoe kayak launches there, there's bathrooms.
And bathrooms,
and
yes.
a pavilion, right. If you really want to just grab a cup of coffee and look at the river and beautiful, pristine Osteen, that's a great spot for it.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Tim Baylie and Lisa Perez, for being on the Volusia Today show today. Thank you so much. With that, we'll close Volusia Today. Take care, stay safe, and help your neighbors.
If you have a comment about Volusia Today, or if there is a topic you would like to hear featured, please contact Volusia County Community Information at 1-866-345-0345.